Hey you guys, so today I have a gentle aerial yoga flow sequence for you that I think that you're really going to enjoy, and it's super yummy. So go ahead and set your hammock up at mid-thigh height, and you'll definitely want a bolster. You may want 2 blocks if you need to sit up a little bit higher for this beginning position. So let's get started. Take a seat, place the hammock in the backpack position underneath of your shoulders, sink the hips down low, and then stretch your arms out nice and wide as you inhale, and exhale, lean back into the hammock. Take your hands behind your head for support, elbows wide like wings out to the sides. From here, you can begin to sway side to side. Just feel a nice gentle release, breathing in, breathing out. Maybe those arms extend out so you can sway like a palm tree. Just allow this to feel good as you move organically, reaching your arms up and then coming down. Bring yourself back to seated. Hold on to the hammock. We're going to move into a neck traction release. So take the hammock underneath of the bottom of your skull, so right around your occipital lobe, right at the top part of your cervical spine. You can stretch your legs out, and if you're comfortable, release your arms out to the sides and just allow yourself to let go completely. Let this feel good. Continue to take some nice deep inhales, nice deep exhales to create space between those cervical vertebrae. When you're ready, reach back up, inhale, and exhale to release, coming back to a seated position and standing all the way up. And go ahead and move your props out of the way. And we're going to come into a downward dog position. So face the hammock, place it down into your hip creases, walk forward as you fold, bring your hands to the floor, and then walk yourself back so you're right underneath of the center line of your fabric. Press your hands into the floor, feel the hips reach high, but remember this downward dog is effortless. It's not so much about trying to get those heels all the way to the floor, but relieving some of the pressure that we often feel in the arms and the shoulders. Moving into 3-limb downward dog, shift forward onto your hands, open your left leg out to the side, and then crochet the foot up into the fabric as you stretch the leg up as the hips move up and back. Breathing in and breathing out here, try to maintain a parallel leg through that left side, hips nice and square. Shifting forward as you inhale, let's change sides. Exhale, right leg goes up and back as the hips reach high to the sky. Let the head hang down between the arms. Maintain your breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then shifting back forward to release that right leg, let's open wide for Prasarita Padottanasana. We'll take a supported wide angle forward fold. Inhaling to lengthen the spine, and then exhale, drop your head down. You can shimmy your shoulders out here a little bit. Shake out your head yes to the present moment. Maybe no to what no longer serves you. And just allow your back to cascade over the legs. Make sure your hips stay stacked over your heels, weight toward the toes. Again, just allow this position to feel good. Now let's go ahead and interlace the hands behind the hips as you inhale. And then exhale, dropping the hands down toward the floor overhead. Again, you can take a bit of a sway side to side. Just feel this sweet opening and release through your shoulders. Continue to feel the support of the hammock in your hips. Release your hands down to the floor, and let's take a twist. Bring your left hand to the center as you open your right arm high on an inhale. Option to half bind that arm. Feel the shoulders open and change sides. Right arm down. Left arm reaches high. Inhale. Exhale, option to half bind. Feel that left arm roll open like a little wing. Breathing in. Breathing out. Slowly releasing that left arm back down to the floor. Walk your hands back forward. Step your feet in. And then let's just hang here for a moment. And then we'll take a little flip, bringing ourselves all the way down to the floor. So you just bring your legs together and come through the center. If you need a spotter for this, please make sure that you have somebody at home with you to try and practice that. Go ahead and grab your bolster. You'll take it horizontal on the mat. You want it to be underneath of your hips. And we're going to bring the feet into the hammock here. So just beginning to move into a bit more of a restorative practice here. You'll lay all the way down, hips are slightly elevated, head is all the way on the floor, feet are up in that hammock. So just allow yourself to really just take a load off of the feet. And let's just bend and stretch a few times. So hook your feet into the hammock so they stay there. Bend your knees into a frog as you exhale and inhale, pushing them back out. Make sure you work with the hammock here, building that relationship. And then little sway side to side, feeling traction through your back. Relax your jaw, let your shoulders melt into the ground. Letting that slow down, bring yourself back to center. And then go ahead and just remove the bolster, roll your hips down to the side. All the way down to the mat. And then let's take that left leg all the way down to the floor. You can use the momentum to help that pull yourself all the way up to a seated position, keeping your right ankle in the hammock, and fold over on an exhale. And just give that right hamstring some love. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep some energy through your feet. You can point or flex your toes here. Inhale to rise. And then we're going to turn to the side for a compass pose. So keep your right foot into the hammock. You're going to reach your left arm up and overhead, reaching to combine both poles of the fabric together as the right arm stretches out to the right side. If this doesn't feel accessible to you, just take a side crescent bend over that right leg. Take some nice deep breaths and come all the way up as you inhale and exhale. Let's turn to face the back, and we're going to come into a supported pigeon. Let's grab that bolster. Place it vertical on the mat now, right underneath of your torso, and then we'll just sway that leg side to side, getting some traction through the hip, through the back. Just feel how that responds all the way through your spine. And on an exhale, melt your heart down to the bolster and just surrender here. You can turn your head to one side and just allow yourself to let go completely. Allow your breath to trickle down from the back of your heart all the way down to your hips. And you can even bend that back leg in the hammock. So the knee is still hovering off of the floor, so we still get some of that delicious traction through our hips. Stay here for a few more moments. Just continuing to surrender, letting everything go. Inhale, start to rise yourself all the way up. Bring yourself onto your forearms and place both feet into the hammock and just take a sway side to side in a flying forearm plank. Find some strength through your arms, keep your hips right in line with your shoulders, and then go ahead and lower your torso onto that bolster. And again, sway your legs side to side, bend your knees. You can turn your head the other direction. Just let this feel good here. And then stretching the legs back out, push yourself back up, and we're going to change sides right away. So bring that right knee onto the mat, and then we'll sway that left leg out and open. And then exhale, drop yourself down onto the bolster for our pigeon on the other side. Make sure that you keep your knees safe here. So if this bothers your knees at all, just go ahead and come out of it. You can take a figure 4 Find some space between your teeth. Bend that leg when you're ready. No tension in the jaw. Notice how that affects your hips. With every breath, clearing the mind. Exhaling away any toxic emotions that may be stored down deep in those hips. And using your next inhale, push yourself all the way up. And we're going to turn to face the other side. So your left leg is still in the hammock. And we'll take our compass pose here on the other side. So as you inhale, reach your right arm up and overhead. Your left arm is in front of that left leg. Combine both poles of the fabric and open your side body. Again, this is a bit of an advanced move. So if you need to modify, just take a side bend over that left leg. Create space between each rib. And then we'll release. And turn all the way back to face the hammock. Extend out that right leg on the floor. Exhale over the left leg, keeping that left foot in the hammock. Breathing into that left hamstring. Nice loving thoughts to your body. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhale, coming all the way up. Scoot yourself a bit forward. And then let's bring both knees into the hammock for our low shoulder stand position. So the hips are just a few inches off the floor. Both knees are locked into the hammock, and just take a sway side to side. This should feel really good on your lower back. Eventually coming back down into the center. And just hang there for a moment. And then from here, just go ahead and slide your feet down into the hammock. And we're going to grab our bolster. So you may need to come up to readjust yourself here. So we're going to bring the bolster underneath of the thoracic spine. We want it to be in a horizontal position so that the back of your head is on the mat and your hips are on the mat, but your spine is lifted up and off of the mat. So both feet are hooked back into the fabric, and then sway the legs side to side again here as we feel this beautiful heart opening through the front side of the body. You can play with the arms a bit here. You can reach them up and overhead. Continue to breathe, feeling a stretch all the way from the tips of your fingers to your toes. You can circle the arms a bit one way and then the other. And then go ahead and bend your knees into a butterfly position. So here we have our supported reclined butterfly. Just hook your feet into the fabric so they stay there, and bend your knees. Keep your hips on the floor. Again, continuing to inhale and exhale, breathing space from your heart to your hips, and then from your hips to your heart, feeling that emotional connection between these two areas, releasing toxic emotions and bringing in more love and joy, gratitude and peace. And when you're ready, go ahead and close your knees like a book. Release your feet out of the fabric. Gently rock yourself to one side off of the bolster. Come to seated and thank yourself for your practice. Namaste.